to my channel, Mrs. Bell's Kitchen. Today we will be making these tender beef tips with gravy. So whenever I make beef tips with gravy, I always dice my veggies first. It just makes everything go smooth when you're ready to toss those in. They're already prepped and ready to go. The only three veggies that I'm going to be using is the green bell pepper, white onion, and fresh garlic. And I'm just going to be dicing those three veggies and setting them to the side and using them when I'm ready. So I'm not sure if you've ever had beef tips with gravy, but to me, it is considered a comfort food, in my opinion. It is very comforting, especially in Michigan right now where the weather doesn't know what it wants to do. One day it's going to be warm, one day it's going to be cold. Like, come on, just break already. So, we have about a cup of green bell pepper, about a half cup of white onion, and about a tablespoon, give or take, of the garlic. That's what it looked like to me. Would you agree? Okay, so now I got my boneless chuck roast that I sliced up. I'm just checking to make sure the pieces are the sizes that I want them to be. I don't want them to be too big, and they look good. They look a good size. So I'm just going to get these in a bowl and get the seasoning put on them. And I did clean the meat. I did clean the meat and slice it. I didn't know if y'all wanted to see me do that, but I did do that. Only three seasonings I'm using is garlic powder, seasoning salt, and black pepper. That's the only seasoning that I'm using because I'm adding in those veggies and that bay leaf once they get to going. So I'm just adding in a little bit of oil to my Dutch oven pot, and I'm just going to let that heat up before I add the meat in because I'm just going to give those a sear. I'm not going to cook them. I'm just going to be searing them. So once that oil is hot, I go ahead and add the beef tips in for searing. I want to try to get all of the meat pieces browned. So I have to move it around a little bit up in here in order to get all the meat seared. And then once the meat has been seared, I go ahead and remove it with a draining spoon so that all the juice can still remain in the pot because that's the good stuff. So we want to keep that. I'm going to move that meat on out the way and slide my veggies over here that I diced up earlier and grab my beef stock. And I also have a cup of flour over here. You can't see that, but it's here. I don't think I'm going to be using the whole cup, but we're going to see. So I'm going to toss those veggies in and let them get soft in that juice that was left in the pot. I'm just cooking them for about 5 minutes because I just want to get them a little soft is all. So once I get these veggies a little soft, I do go ahead and add in about a half cup of flour and stir it on in. And it's gonna look a little, how can I explain it? It's gonna get crumbly and gooey kind of, but the beef stock and stirring is gonna take care of that. So I'm just slowly adding the beef stock in and stirring with my wooden spoon just to break up those clumps that was formed when I added the flour. And I see they're starting to disappear, but the more you stir, the more they're going to disappear. The clumps, that is. And it's going to start to thicken as it cooks, and that's what will make the gravy. Just adding the rest of this beef stock in there because it was just a little bit, so why not just add the rest on in there? I'm getting it all. And stir it on up. Make sure those clumps gone, and they appear to be gone. So, like I said, as this cooks, it will thicken. It will thicken. Then I'm just adding in about a tablespoon, give or take, of some soy sauce. This is something that my mother taught me in the kitchen. It's what she's always added to her gravy mix. And so that's something that she taught me that I still use to this day for all my gravies. It darkens it and it also gives it flavor. So I have brought my meat back over because now I'm just going to go ahead and add all of the meat to the pot. Once all of the meat has been added to the pot, I give it one more good stir before I put that lid on and cook it for about an hour and a half. This is 30 minutes after. This is an hour after. And this is after an hour and a half. And I'm going to say it's ready. And I'm ready for it. So I've had beef tips and gravy with rice before, and I've also had it with mashed potatoes. Today I'm having it with mashed potatoes, but I do like it with rice as well. It's just I prefer potatoes today. My homemade mashed potatoes to be exact. So yeah. Now look at that. Doesn't that look comforting?